The Democrats, under kind of a volatile and unhinged Representative Al Green, introduced articles of impeachment in an effort to impeach Donald Trump for a third time. And this one was strange because 128 Democrats of the House voted against it. And you know why that was? Nancy Pelosi and Hycom Jeffries knew that that was hypocritical. Barack Obama, in the single year, 2016, he dropped 26,000 bombs. He didn't think he had to go to the Congress to ask permission. On the last day that Barack Obama was in office, he took the B-2 bombers, probably some of the same pilots, ordered them to take off from Missouri, and they flew to Libya, and they bombed Libya. Nobody in the House on the Democratic side said a thing. Hello, this is Victor Davis Hanson for the Daily Signal. The Democrats, under kind of a volatile and unhinged Representative Al Green, introduced articles of impeachment in an effort to impeach Donald Trump for a third time. Remember, there were two successful impeachments, but of course they failed to get a conviction in the Senate during Trump's first term. And this one was strange because 128 Democrats of the House caucus voted against it. And so Al Green and AOC and Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar and all of these people that were affiliates to the Squad and the radical fringe couldn't even get a majority of Democrats. And you know why that was? Think about it for a reason. One of them was that Chuck Schumer in the Senate and Nancy Pelosi, who's not Speaker, but she still has influence on Hycom Jeffries, the Speaker, who voted against the resolution, said, wait a minute, you got to remember that if we do this, we're going to get killed by clips every day during the midterms. And those clips are going to show Barack Obama in the single year, 2016, he dropped 26,000 bombs. And it wasn't just in Syria. It wasn't just in Iraq. It wasn't just in Afghanistan. He dropped them in Libya. He dropped them in Somalia. He dropped them in Yemen. 26,000 bombs. They all had one thing in common. He didn't think he had to go to the Congress to ask permission. Why did he think that? I don't think he was legally required to, but there was a political reason. At that time, in 2016, he had no majority in the House. He was down over 40 seats, and he had no majority in the Senate. And had he gone and said, I'm the mad bomber, and I've been bombing Libya from 2011 to 2016 without your approval, and I want to keep doing it. I've dropped 26,000 bombs this year. I want to keep bombing. They would have said no. It's partisan, maybe. And so Nancy Pelosi and Hycom Jeffries knew that that was hypocritical. On the last day, as I said earlier, the last day that Barack Obama was in office, he knew that Trump was coming in, and he knew that he had to go out with a bang, so he took the B-2 bombers, probably some of the same pilots, and he ordered them to take off from Missouri, and they flew 5,000 miles longer to Libya, and they bombed supposed terrorist elements of this Libya chaotic mess that he had created by bombing it earlier in 2011. Nobody in the House on the Democratic side said a thing. So this opposition is really hurting the Democrats because it's so hypocritical, but more importantly, it's an act of omission. You want to say to them, Nancy Pelosi, Hycom Jeffries, AOC, what's the status of homeless people in your district? What do you want to do with illegal immigrants? Do you think you brought them in, 12 million of them, and they're here illegally? Why would you have sanctuary cities that protect even the criminal element? Why would you not want to deport them when 54% of the American people do? In other words, they're not paying any attention to what people want. Affordable housing, affordable gas, affordable energy, safe streets, secure borders, deterrent foreign policy, none of that. All they're doing is saying if Donald Trump does something, we are going to be irate, we're going to use pornography, we're going to use smuddy language, and we're going to oppose them, and now we're going to impeach him. And some people in that party said, this is so unhinged, it's so contradictory, it's so paradoxical, it's so hypocritical, it's just fodder for campaign messages in every purple house rate in 2 years. Don't do it. So it was a surprise. And as far as people on the right, to finish, we were told that 30,000 people were going to die from some of our close friends in the MAGA group. We were told this was going to be World War III. And then you wanted to say to yourself, well, who would do that? Who would do that? Who would start World War III? Russia? Russia's bogged down in a theater-wide war. It's lost 1 million dead, wounded. It's not going to do anything. Well, China's got about 500 or 800 nuclear weapons. We have about 60,000, 6,000 or 7,000 that could be deliverable very quickly. But more importantly, China's oil comes out of the Straits of Hormuz. They don't want to go in there. They don't want to send anything to Iran. And finally, our people who impeached Donald Trump should remember a great truth. One of the subtexts of this entire war, I should say two, Iran was a complete paper tiger. It had never any military ability. It had almost lost the war against Saddam Hussein from 80 to 88. It sued for peace. Its only method of hurting people was through third-party terrorists. It had no military capability to speak of, and yet it scared 7 or 8 presidents. That was number one. And finally, Iran is the most hated country in the world. The theocracy is. So when we had this strike and the aftermath, the only people who were voicing support were people like North Korea, Venezuela, and that's about it. Anybody else basically said, well, I don't like the United States and I don't like Europe, but these people are crazy and I do not want them to get a bomb. So they have no support and they weren't militarily capable. And the only people who failed to see that, and indirectly by this impeachment, were trying to help Iran were whom? Our own Democratic Party, at least a minority of them. 76 or 73 of our Democratic colleagues in the House wanted to embarrass Donald Trump and line up on the side with a few lunatic regimes that did not even include Russia and China and others of that ilk. Thank you very much. This is Victor Davis Hanson for the Daily Signal. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Signal. Please like, share, and subscribe to be notified for more content like this. You can also check out my own website at victorhanson.com and subscribe for exclusive features in addition.